A number of my subscribers have been a bit anxious about the Trump tariffs. Now listen, don't be anxious. With my guidance, you're going to make money. I've got the most paid subscribers on the African continent. Nobody in Africa has more paid subscribers than I do. And the reason why is because I know how to make people money. So this Trump tariff, yes, it looks like a crisis, but you got to remember, like I told you before, crises are always opportunity. The stock market is going to go down. As a matter of fact, yesterday was the worst day in the stock market in the last 4 years. And that's good. It means that stocks that we could not have been able to afford because they were very, very pricey have now come down and we can buy them at a discount. Yes, on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, Trump announced global tariffs. So generally, every country has at least a 10% tariff. But you have specific countries like China with 34% tariffs, Europe, that's the European Union, with about 20% tariff. We've got a country like South Korea with about 25% tariff, Japan with 24% tariff, and then Taiwan, different countries. Countries like Nigeria have about 14% tariffs. Now, what he's trying to do, he's trying to replace the Internal Revenue Service with the External Revenue Service. It's an idea to tax the rest of the world and get money and give Americans tax break. Now, I don't know how it's going to work because something like this has never been done before. But what we do know is that right now we are having what the market calls a correction. There's a difference between a correction and a recession. Now, a correction is when the market declines anywhere from about 10% to about 19%, which is the territory that we're at right now. The market has declined by just about, slightly above 10%. And it's going to correct itself. Historically, it takes 4 months for a correction to correct itself. Now, when you have a recession, or sometimes called a bear market, it takes about 2 years. We're not there yet, and we are likely not going to be there. Trump knows what he's doing. He's not going to ruin the US economy. He's going to look at this, and then other markets, China and co, the European Union, they are also not going to ruin the world economy. So what I encourage you to do is to buy stocks now that they are down, especially the Magnificent Seven. Now, when I say the Magnificent Seven, do not buy Tesla stocks. Tesla's problems are more political than economic. So a lot of people, because of the political stance that Elon Musk has taken, it's not just individuals, you also have groups and countries. They want to punish Tesla. So what we're going to see is that over the coming months, Tesla sales are going to plummet. So you don't want to be invested in Tesla. But with the other Magnificent Seven stocks, you're talking about Google, you're talking about Alphabet, which is the parent company for Google. Actually, you're talking about Microsoft, you're talking about Nvidia, NVIDIA, you're talking about Amazon, you're talking about Meta, which is the parent company for Facebook. Invest in these stocks. They are down now, they're going to come back up. And then also bank stocks. Bank stocks are so resilient. They are one of the most resilient stocks on the stock market after the Magnificent Seven. So I'm going to recommend, I will suggest, in my opinion, get Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Citigroup. Now, you might also add a fifth. You might want to add Wells Fargo. These stocks are going to come back in roughly about 4 months' time. You'll be making money. Now, if you want to know my record, I encourage you, watch my previous videos and see how these are not predictions, these are my analytical opinions. See how they've panned out. I'm going to give you an example. Just a couple of days ago, I told people to buy Newsmax stocks. Newsmax stock, I told them to buy it. The next day, they made about 120% from Newsmax. This is not up to a week ago. I think this was just 4 days ago. And you can fact check me. I don't want to say how much money I make because people are watching this and then, but my subscribers, they just made a killing. I will make you money. Do not panic. Listen, let me guide you. My name is Rana Mokri. Thank you for watching and may God bless you.